In this video, I'm going to break down 5 habits that you have that are ruining your aim. Everything from not abusing tap strafing to spending way too much time on aim trainers. We're going to fix your aim in this video. If you don't know me, I'm a Radiant player on a competitive team. I have been Radiant every episode, and I'm going to show you the secrets of aiming in Valorant. To start off, the first tip I have for you is that you need to learn to pre-fire predictable angles. Angles like this on Ascent and this on Bind are extremely predictable. If you know these angles, then you will be able to pre-fire the enemies off of them. The reason this will be helpful to you is because when you pre-fire someone, they'll be dead before you are even on their screen. This gives them no chance to fight back, and this will allow you to get way more kills without even needing to take aim duels. There are a few easy ways to learn these predictable angles. The first way is to watch high-level streamers. See what angles they usually hold and what angles they pre-fire. They are very good at the game, so they have an extremely solid grasp on how to play the game and what angles to pre-fire and what angles are very common to hold. Learn from their practice and copy what they have learned. The next way to learn is actually one of the easiest ways. When you're playing the game, and if you swing an angle and the enemy was holding it and they kill you, remember that angle they were holding. You can use that info to never die to that angle again and instead pre-fire it next time, giving you a massive advantage in the next gunfight you take with that angle. Now, the last and fastest way to practice this skill is to take note of the angles that you like to hold and pre-fire those when you are on the opposite side. If you like holding those angles, it's probably because you have found an angle that you feel like you have a solid advantage on. If you found it, your enemies probably have as well, so they will be most likely be holding that angle. Pre-fire those to guarantee more kills for you. And that leads me into the second tip of the video. Stop holding those predictable angles. If you're pre-firing a certain angle, there's a very high chance that that is a very predictable angle. To stop that, follow these steps. Step 1, take the angles you like to hold and don't stand there anymore. That's it. That's literally it. That's all you have to do. Instead, you can do one of two things. Number 1, you can jiggle the angle, which allows you to get the info you would get from holding the angle, but makes it much harder to have a good timing on pre-firing you because your head is moving left and right. And so like if they did try to pre-fire you, you would not die. The other option is holding an off angle. Instead of holding this angle how most people typically hold it, swing out wide and hold an angle more out in the open. This is much more risky but can easily catch people off guard and allow you to get kills on unsuspecting enemies. Now, next up, very similar to jiggling an angle like we talked about before, tap strafing. What is tap strafing? Tap strafing is when you hold A to go to the left and then you let go of A, shoot 1 to 3 bullets like a little burst, then hold D and go to the right and let go and shoot like 1 or 3 bullets like a burst again. And you do that over and over again in gunfights. This is much better than spraying since Valorant does not have consistent spray patterns. This allows every bullet you shoot to go exactly where your crosshair is. Not only that, but it makes you a very much harder target to hit. It doesn't seem like it would, but I promise you, if you go to a deathmatch and try it, once you get the hang of it, you'll notice it takes way longer for the enemies to kill you. That is because since there are no consistent spray patterns, people have to tap to try to kill you. It is extremely hard to tap a moving target. This could force them to spray and whiff all their shots since once again, there are no spray patterns. There is a way to practice this. You can practice this mechanic by going into the range, going over to the bots and coming to this pole on the right. What you're going to be doing is start on one side of the pole, shoot a bot, and then strafe to the other side of the pole, shoot another bot, and do this over and over again. You can add this into your warm-up or aim training routine so you can practice it consistently. The other option is just go into a deathmatch. And no matter what, don't crouch, don't spray, stop, shoot a couple bullets, then strafe, stop, and shoot again, over and over in deathmatch. It only works if you focus very hard on only tap strafing. Once you do this for a while, you'll absolutely get more kills with more practice and time. Now, this next tip has to do with a problem that you most likely have with your aim training or warm-up routine, which is spending way too much time on aim trainers. Aim trainers are not that bad. They have a time and place, but they only focus on one aspect of your game, which is your raw aim. They do not help you with your positioning, your movement, recoil, game sense, situational awareness, or any of the many other skills that you need to like succeed in Valorant. Deathmatch, on the other hand, works on most of these mechanics. So if you're spending all your time in aim trainers, you're going to be missing out on a lot of skills you need to develop. So while aim trainers will absolutely help your aim a ton, make sure you also incorporate the range, deathmatching, and spending more time on the actual game. Don't fall into the trap of aim trainers and spend all the time that you have on those trainers. And number 5 actually has to do more with your positioning than your aim. It will still change the way you take gunfights and you'll be actually a lot more successful in your game. And that is paying close attention to the distance between you and the wall you are swinging out of. If you swing too close to the wall, the enemy will see your shoulder before you see them. This gives them more time to react to your swing, and it will feel like you are being pre-fired, even though they had seen your shoulder for a while. Instead, if you take a few steps back from the angle, you will see them at the same time as they see you. But since you have peeker's advantage in online games, you will have the advantage by being the one swinging, and you can win that gunfight much more effectively. This will make it so the enemy feels like you pre-fired them, because within milliseconds of you appearing on their screen, they're already dead. Try to use this technique a lot more, and you'll actually see a little bit more success in your games and the way you take gunfights. And that is all I have for you today. But if you want to learn how to play Vice better, here are 10 tips to help you play Vice in Valorant. So click on the screen right now.